What the fuck was that, Marvel? Punisher One Last Kill just premiered, and they keep on showing how they do not know how to handle Punisher. We literally see Frank going through a PTSD episode for 30 minutes in a 45-minute special. Then we get about 10 minutes of action, and then to top it off, the very last minute of the special, he finally suits up in his costume. I mean, the very last minute. Like, are you kidding me? Listen, Punisher is one of my favorite comic book characters, and I've read pretty much every single comic book from him. This is not how Punisher should be shown. This is a special, not a season, so we have very limited time to tell a story. I get that real life soldiers go through PTSD, and that's not about this. This is Frank we are talking about, and he should not be acting like this. We've already seen him deal with his PTSD in his TV shows back on Netflix, and that was perfectly fine, and I like how they portrayed that. This is a special, and we are past him going through that emotional trauma. He should be focusing on his war on crime, and that's it. They literally have Punisher welcome back Frank as the blueprint, but they still fail to do that. It's so simple. It's right here. Manucci's not even shown as a crazy mafia boss. She's shown as a mother out for revenge of her fallen mafia sons who are really not that bad when they are. Plus, they show her as this weird cripple lady for some reason. I mean, if he shot her and made her a cripple, that would have made sense, but he didn't. Also, there's this guy who's her bodyguard named Barry, and if that's supposed to be Barracuda, then please heck no, because that does not look like Barracuda. When they finally do show the deaths of her son, they're in a flashback, and they're very quick, boring, and not that interesting. They're not even a major focal point of this main story. We could have gotten Frank taking out the Nuccis one by one in that first 30 minutes, but no, we just get it in a very quick flashback. Is there anything positive about the special? I mean, I guess the action is good. We get about 10 minutes of the 45-minute special dedicated to just action, and there are some pretty violent and bloody scenes, but it's just that. We could have gotten so much more action. We could have seen Punisher be so good and awesome in this, and we just don't see that. We also get this really weird CGI Punisher body falling onto this like metal grate, and that looked really weird. But I want to see Punisher in his Skull outfit. We saw it in Born Again. Why are we regressing back to a superhero who's not in his costume? I'm tired of TV shows not putting people in their costume. Punisher is always in his costume, and if he's not in the comic books, it's for a brief second. He's not fighting, not in his costume. So stop doing this, Disney. They leave us with a cliffhanger because he doesn't kill Manucci at the end, so there's a couple things that are going to happen. Either we're going to get an MCU Punisher show, which would be cool, but they need better writers. They're going to shoehorn Punisher into season 3 of Born Again and wrap up his story, which I wouldn't like. They're going to briefly put it into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which again, I don't really see happening, but maybe. I just want to see a Punisher who's a badass killing machine who always is wearing his costume that I know and love from the comics. I am tired of the MCU's version of this sad, trauma-filled Punisher who is just constantly having issues. I'm tired of seeing that. Plus, we hardly even see him go through trauma in the comics, and when we do, it's for a couple pages at most. It's not a full book. Plus, Marvel's doing a terrible job at his character portrayal. They need to understand where his character is going and stop regressing him. Like at the very end of Born Again Season 1, Punisher is literally in his costume, he has his hair all cut and everything, and he's being Punisher. So if this is supposed to take place right after season 1, why is he not hunting the AVTF? Why is he not wearing his Skull outfit? Why is he regressing and falling into a PTSD episode? That makes literally no sense to what just happened at the end of the season. Plus, I would have loved to see him take out a bunch of AVTF members at the end of the special. I mean, there's crime happening everywhere, and you're telling me right now there's none of them showing up on these streets? It makes no sense. Again, if this is supposed to be taking place right after Born Again Season 1, it makes no sense why Punisher is acting like this. They could have given us the most badass 1 hour, not 45-minute special of Punisher being awesome and actually doing stuff that they do in the comics, because we saw what they did with Daredevil and his action scenes. They could have done the same with Punisher, but they didn't. It's not that hard, Marvel. Give us better. Us Punisher fans deserve a lot better than this.